We have 7 layers in our body. First layer, I'm just trying to give you a visual idea. Of course, surely not our bodies are like a round shape unless you are really obese. Even then it won't be exactly this circle. I'm just trying to give you a picture, an idea. First layer is the physical body which you are carrying, made out of flesh and blood. The second layer is the pranic movement, the prana movement which is happening in your system, like inhaling, the prana which stays inside you and the prana which spreads all over the body, and exhaling and cleaning. There are 5 pranas: prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. The 5 pranas. The Pancha Pranas, Pran, Udan, Vyan, Saman, Apan. The Pancha Pranas, all these movements are called Prana Sarira. And the next, the inner chattering which is going on in you, it's called Mana, Manas Sarira, the mind. The 4th layer is the emotion. I can say intense inner chattering which does not respond to your logical analysis. That is what we call emotions. That is the 4th layer. And the 5th layer is which you experience in the deep sleep. And the 6th layer you will experience in a strong meditation technique, means thoughtless awareness. The 7th layer is enlightenment. You have 7 different layers in your system. If all 7 different layers fall in tune with each other, suddenly you will see all the samskaras will leave your system. If the samskaras are taken out of your system, suddenly you will see all these 7 layers fall in tune with each other. Balancing, reconnecting, reuniting starts happening. That uniting is what is called yoga. Beautifully Patanjali describes yogaha chitta vritti nirodhaha, means living without samskaras. Only then the thoughtless state will be there. When the samskaras are taken out, the uniting happens. If uniting happens, samskaras leave your system. Physical, 2nd prana, 3rd mind, 4th emotions, 5th deep sleep, the karana sharira, the silence which you enjoy in the deep sleep. 6th, the joy, bliss you enjoy in the thoughtless awareness, what J. Krishnamurti calls as choiceless awareness. And ultimate, the 7th layer, pure enlightened consciousness. Understand, uniting all these 7 layers, removing the samskaras which you collected and stored. You store the samskaras in different layers. Yesterday somebody wrote me a question, Swamiji, this stuff was too strong for me, especially the analysis on the 4 states of consciousness. Mainly the answer for that question, that one question, when I come back I see the same world. Actually that person wrote a question in a very funny way. When I come back, I see the same house, same car, same wife. He underlined that word. That word was underlined. I didn't. Same wife and same life. But when I go back to the dream, I don't see the same thing. Answer for that question was very shocking to him. I think the same person again wrote one more slip. During the darshan, I got the slip. He says it was too strong. I didn't expect I will have such a clarity I'm afraid of the clarity now. Understand? Many times, people are afraid of getting near the truth. Getting near the truth. We will first start working on physical layer. Annamaya Kosha. The body we are carrying, which is made of flesh, bones and blood. The physical body, Annamaya Kosha. Because it is strengthened or weakened by food. It is directly built by food. Anna, it is called Annamaya Kosha in Sanskrit. The body can be an ultimate place for us to rest, or a great bondage. The goal is to evolve the body into enlightened physiology. Please listen. How your body should be. How your body should be. The goal. The body should be a vehicle through which you can manifest anything you want. Not just your health or wealth or better relationships, anything you want. You should be able to just manifest. The physical layer, Annamaya Kosha, is part of the material world. Whether it's a rock or tree or a man, all have physical body. In this physical body, you carry the patterns of fear. Please understand. The samskaras of fear. See, in each layer, you carry different patterns. Different patterns are recorded in different layers. In each layer, different patterns are recorded. The physical layer, the patterns of fear is recorded. Please understand, these patterns by and by accumulate certain power, even though they cannot function independently without the power of your consciousness. Because of its long time existence, they themselves acquire certain powers. Like early morning cup of coffee. Once you build the habit of early morning cup of coffee, without that your life cannot move. It's almost like a day has not started if the coffee is missing. I'm not saying coffee is wrong. I'm not saying coffee is right, but all I am trying to tell you is compulsion is wrong. Compulsion is wrong. That stops your self-actualization. That stops your self-actualization. First, The engrams, patterns, samskaras, incompletions you have in your physical layer. Let's dig out those physical layer patterns. Internalizing incompletions of fear. Please listen. Dig out all the fear layers, fear patterns. Recollect the earliest memories of your life. Write down all the incidents and the conversations you had about fear of losing your name, fear of losing your fame, fear of losing your identity. You have multiple layers of fears stored in the physical body. Recollect the earliest memories of your life and write down the incidents and conversations you had about fear of losing your physical health, fear of losing your mental health, and our fear of losing the body parts in accidents. Same way, recollect the earliest memories of your life and write down all the incompletions you had about fear of losing your wealth and all your possessions. Recollect the earliest memories of your life and write down the incidents and conversations you had about fear of losing your loved ones, fear of losing the love of your loved ones. Recollect the earliest memories of your life and write down the incidents and the conversations you had about fear of the unknown. So start penning down as if you are talking to me. Let's dig out the patterns and engrams you carry in the physical layer, in the physical body. Listen. Some deeper insights into this fear pattern. See, when I utter the word fear pattern, it means all your fears are patterns, not facts. Please listen. Your fears, when they overpower you, look like fact. When you overpower them, you realize it is pattern. Understand? When they overpower you, it looks like fact. When you overpower them, it looks like pattern. Now all we need to do something so that they can never overpower you. They can never make you powerless. They can never make you powerless. Listen. We will have to do something so that we can never become powerless. Listen to this truth. Internalize. All fear is nothing but pattern making you powerless. Because you become powerless, the pattern looks like a fact. It's like there's a hero and a dupe for the hero. When hero is dead, powerless, dupe looks like a hero. Pattern taking over you, making you powerless, and makes itself look like fact. That is the worst thing can happen to you. Please listen. That is the worst thing that can happen to you. All fears are ultimately rooted in fear of death. All fears ultimately rooted in fear of death. Actually, whenever you become powerless, that is the real moment about which you need to be afraid. Not the death itself. Please listen. If you don't become powerless, death is just transition. If you become powerless, collapse, actually death leads to such an unknown, unable to understand space. In your life, if at all you have to be afraid of something, only you have to be afraid of becoming powerless, nothing else. Nothing else need to be worried. You don't need to worry. You don't need to be afraid of anything else other than feeling powerless. Feeling powerless is the only thing about which you need to be afraid of. You need to be worried about. Now, I'll lead you into a process which will strengthen your inner space so that you will never fall into powerlessness. Never the pattern can take over you and make it look like a fact. Pattern taking over you makes itself look like a fact is the worst thing that can happen to you. It's like you are dupe, breaking your head and putting you unconscious and then taking over your place, making himself look like you. So listen, this process awakens your Kundalini, strengthens your powerfulness, never allows you to fall into powerlessness, so that patterns can never take over the place of fact. Anything when you know it is a pattern, you will never be afraid. As long as you think it's a fact, you will be frightened. Whether it is a ghost, fear of losing name and fame, or death, fear of accident, everything. Only if you feel, oh, it may become fact, it is there, then you will be frightened, powerless. If you know it is just a pattern with which you are suffering, suddenly the fear lost all its strength and vigor. Now the process, I am going to lead you. Very simple process. It's from Shaivagama, Sivagnanopanishad. Let me read out the verse and then give you the technique. Evameva Durnishayam Krishna Pakshagameshiram Taimiram Bhavayan Rupam Bhairavam Rupameshyati. The English translation: in the same way, a dark night in the dark fortnight, by contemplating for long over the circumambient darkness, the yogi will attain the nature of Bhairava. Please listen. I'll give you the technique now. Meditate on intense darkness. It will actually put your mind to your natural state, where your Kundalini can start spreading all over your system. Your body will start getting powerful. Please understand. Darkness is only worshipped as Kali and Kalabhairava in Hindu tradition. Don't be afraid of darkness. It is the agitated Western mind, Western mental setup which is afraid of darkness. But the original darkness is beyond light and darkness. It is like beyond the frequency of the light. If you see the whole cosmos, it is darkness, intense darkness. It is not just darkness, it's energy too. It's energy too. Meditate on darkness as intensely as possible. You may even feel that you have forgotten your body. It is okay. Because when you meditate on the darkness, your Kundalini Shakti will be awakened. You will experience the real light. As on now, whatever you know as light is not real light. Meditate on darkness, you will experience the real light. Please listen. The next layer we are going to work is breathing layer, Pranamaya Kosha. In Sanskrit we say Pranamaya Kosha, breathing layer. See, prana is the energy which your body absorbs while you are breathing. Please understand. Prana is the energy your body absorbs while you are breathing. Air itself is not prana, but the energy which comes through the air is prana. Air is like a vehicle. Air is like a vehicle. On a physiological level, prana refers to your circulatory and respiratory systems. See, prana does 5 things inside you. Inhalation, that's called prana. Vyana means the air which goes inside and stays in you. Third, udana, the air which goes inside and spreads all over the body. Samana, the air which leaves your body. Apana, the air which does cleaning process in your body. Actually, these 5 movements of air energy inside you, as totally called as pranic layer. Please listen. I'll repeat once more. The 5 breathing activity happens in you. Inhaling, holding, exhaling, spreading all over your body, and cleaning. These 5 put together is called pranic layer. And all the energy which happens during the breathing process gives life to you. So please understand, prana is one of the important source of life. In this layer, all our desires are stored. Desire related patterns, desire related engrams, desire related samskaras are stored in this layer. Please listen. Listen carefully. Your desires are your life. Your desires are your life. Listen. It's your desires which infuse life into you, and it's your desires which infuse energy into you. Same way, conflicts in your desires brings tiredness in you. Contradictions in your desires brings boredom in you. Confusions in your desires bring frustration in you. Please understand. Your desires are your life. Conflict in your desires bring confusion in you. Conflict in your desires bring tiredness in you. Confusions in your desires bring frustration in you. Its contradiction in your desires bring boredom in you. Actually, if your desire is pure, every breath you inhale and exhale will make that desire into reality. When your desires have conflict, confusion and contradiction, every breath brings tiredness, boredom, frustration in you. Every breath is like a air blower into balloon. Your desires are the shape of the balloon. If the shape of the balloon is Tom and Jerry, when you blow the air, you will have Tom and Jerry. Conflict, constant conflict. If the shape of the balloon is just round, when you blow the air into that balloon, you will have a round balloon. The shape of the balloon is tall. When you blow the air into it, you will see tall balloon. Your breath infuses energy into your desire. So the one and only thing you need to do in your life is not giving up desire, but removing the conflicts, confusions, contradictions in your desires. Please understand, renunciation is not giving up your desires, it is giving up conflicts, contradictions, confusions in your desire. One of the biggest mess up happened in the field of spirituality is wrong understanding. Renunciation means giving up desires. That's the worst understanding happened, or misunderstanding happened in the spiritual field. Raga means attachment. Araga means detachment. Viraga means renouncing the conflicts, confusion and complications of desires. You need viraga, vairagya. Viraga becomes vairagya. Please understand, renouncing desires is not what we want. Renouncing the complications, contradictions, confusions is all we want. Renouncing complications, confusions and contradictions. That's all we need. That's all we need. First thing we need to do, identify the contradicting, conflicting and complicating desires. What all the desires you have which contradicts, conflicts, complicates. First, conflicting desire means having a desire which conflicts itself. In the one statement itself, you will create a conflict and wrong energy. I'll give you an example. Somebody has a headache. He goes on repeating, I want to get rid of headache. I want to get rid of headache. When you repeat this again and again, this statement itself will keep the headache alive. Because every time you are remembering headache, when you utter the word headache, the headache becomes stronger and stronger in you. The real word you need to repeat inside is, I should become healthy. My head should become healthy. See, the words you repeat inside you are equivalent to food you take every day. Suddenly overnight nobody is going to become obese. Suddenly overnight nobody is going to become fit. It's every day what you eat makes you one day obese. Every day what you eat makes you one day healthy. Listen, the words you repeat inside makes you either frustrated or spiritually awakened. The conflicting words you go on repeating inside you takes away the possibility you have for yourself. Second, contradicting desires. Having two or more desires at the same time which contradict each other, which you cannot fulfill at the same time. For example, you want to become a CEO and be an active life from morning till evening, managers meetings, team meetings, and people listening to your words, commands, decisions. You want to be a person who calls the shots, rolling chair and active life. One, you aspire for that. The other side, you want to throw away everything, go and lie down in the beach, resting. This contradicting desires. Same way, third, complicating desires means having a desire which gets complicated without direct understanding and right clarity. This is when you don't have intelligence to take the direct and straight steps to fulfill the desires. You go round and round and round. You want money, but you are working in the direction of having name and fame. You go round and round and round, fulfilling something else. It's like you want name and fame, but you are working in the direction of having money. I'll give you an example. You want to learn painting, but first you learn stitching and then drawing. Finally, by the time you learn painting, you have become too old. This complicating desires, understand that many times you want pleasure, but you get into painful lifestyle. It's like the joy you enjoy when you are romancing and dating, you want that permanently and you get married. That's it. I think this example everyone understands. If you are getting married for the sake of retaining the joy you experience while you are romancing and dating, That can be a very apt example of complicating desires. What you want is different and what you do is different. End up in complication. Now, please sit and dig out the contradicting desires, conflicting desires and complicating desires you have. Cleansing the pranamaya kosha. And please start digging out these patterns and engrams. Now, again, awakening your Kundalini Shakti, infusing into your pranamaya, breathing layer, will make you get out of this conflicting, confusing, contradicting patterns. Please understand, whenever you become powerless in front of a desire, that becomes conflict, that becomes confusing, that becomes complicating. Listen carefully. Whenever you become powerless in front of your desires, those are the moments the conflicting, contradicting, confusing knots are created in your desire pattern. So naturally those knots does not allow the fulfillment or completion of your desires. Now, one, by understanding and completing, second, by awakening your Kundalini Shakti. In both ways, I'll help you to overcome these complications, conflicts and confusions. This Kriya we are going to do, the process we are going to do now, is a very powerful process to awaken your Kundalini and your pranic layer, so that you can be free from all this conflict, confusion, complications of your desires. So listen, the first step, listen to the first step. Inhale as slowly as possible. Hold as long as possible. Exhale as slowly as possible. Hold your lungs empty as long as possible. Listen. Inhale as slowly as possible, comfortably. Hold as long as possible, comfortably. Exhale as slowly as possible, comfortably. Keep your lungs empty as long as possible, comfortably. If you already have high blood pressure, any problem in the lungs, any heart disorders, any other serious illness, please do not do this Kriya. Others, do it very sincerely, as much as you are comfortable. Let's start the process. During the process, you should be standing. Please stand up. 3 feet gap between both the legs. Put your legs wide apart. Inhale and exhale. As slowly as possible and as deeply as possible. Please tie the ribbon. Please close your eyes and tie the ribbon. Inhale. as slowly as you can. Hold as long as you can. Exhale as slowly as you can. Hold the lungs empty as long as you can. Again start inhaling as slowly as you can. Please start. Continue again. After a few minutes of break, the same breathing process. Others, please continue as slowly as possible, as comfortably as possible. Relax. The next layer we are going to work is mental layer. The mind, Manomaya Kosha. Please understand. The inner chattering which goes on inside you, which you are not able to switch off, which takes over you, overpowers you. I can give you the example. Late night you are not able to fall asleep. You are tossing, rolling on the bed. One side, thinking about so many things which you need to do. Other side, worrying that if you don't sleep tonight, tomorrow you will not be able to do anything. But various things which you are supposed to do in the future, which you have done wrongly in the past, overpowers you. See, such a strong thought currents which you are not able to control, overpowering you. This layer, the mental layer, Manomaya Kosha, strong thought currents overpowering you, is the biggest incompletion stored in Manomaya Kosha, the mental layer. Please listen. In the mental layer, the powerful, strongest incompletion recorded, strongest incompletion stored is thought currents overpowering you, making you powerless. In this layer, we store all the pain patterns. We store all the pain patterns. Physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain. All the pains are reduced to mental pain and recorded in your being. Please understand, physical pain also, when it is recorded in your mind, it becomes only mental pain. It is the mental pain about physical pain, that's all. Physical pain, all of you know. If somebody hits you, what happens? It's the physical pain. Mental pain is, if you are not respected somewhere the way you expect to be respected. Emotional pain is somebody whom you really love or trust cheats you. And spiritual pain, conscious pain is pain of not achieving what you want to achieve in your life. Listen, these four major pains get stored in your pain body, in your mental layer. Mental layer is pain body. That is where all the pains are stored. I'll lead you into a very powerful process to get you out of this mess you created for yourself. Each thought current overpowering you and torturing you, even though you don't want them. Now I tell you, sit, recall each and every incident, relive them in your inner space, write them down. I commit with you, today with this Samskara Dahana Kriya, I'll complete all your pain patterns because they are not worthy of carrying. You have a stupid U-Haul service. Constantly your pain being transferred wherever you go. This U-Haul service does its job even if you don't call them. That's the problem. The unique process we will do now, you are literally going to write your autobiography. Understand? This process is called Samskara Dahana Kriya. Start with the earliest memories of your life. Recall all the unpleasant incidents of your life. The ones that brought you mental, physical, emotional, conscious pains. Recall each incident. Relive it in your inner space intensely. Go back to the same situation, same emotion, same thinking pattern, same understanding, same experience. Go back to that age. Bring that same emotion, bring that same experience. After reliving, write down each incident clearly as if you are writing a story. Do not censor anything. Do not avoid any incidents. Write each and every incident. Don't censor. Do it really, really sincerely.